I can't look at movies the same way anymore. I really can't. The last 90 minutes I experienced, it was some of the most perplexing, soul-searching experience of my life. You know, we say things all the time like, movies are a money-making medium, that you need to make money, or, you know, you gotta make some sort of profit. And I understood that. But now it's more true than ever. It's an $80 million film that made money, kind of, and was horrible. And it was so cheap looking, and people spent hard-earned money to see this. I only rented it from my public library, but I feel terrible for the unfortunate souls that saw this on the big screen and paid $8, $10 to see it. I wanted a refund and I didn't even pay money to see it. Oh my god. Ah. I can't look at movies the same way anymore. This is a life-changing experience. It's one of the few movies where I was literally screaming in pain and agony in each moment that happened. Like, there was a moment where I almost felt it was addressing me personally, where Adam Sandler says to Jill, "You're alive!" And I thought he was talking to me because I realized I wasn't dead after this movie. I was still alive. And I had to tell my story about Jack and Jill. Possibly one of the worst movies I have ever seen. Now, I had an argument with my friend the other day about which was worse, Batman and Robin or Jack and Jill. My response, at least with Batman and Robin, it's so bad it's funny. Jack and Jill is just a horrible, nightmare-inducing experience that I will never forget, unfortunately. Like, I feel like I'm a part of a lost generation that watched this movie and it's just like, wow, I can't live life the same way anymore. Like, trying to describe people what Jack and Jill is an otherworldly experience in a bad way. But let me just get away from my my over-the-top introduction and let me talk about Jack and Jill seriously. The film came out an Armistice Day of 2011, Veterans Day, whatever you want to call it. The 11th day of the 11th month of the 11th year, the 21st. In 2011, in the 21st century. Or whatever I just said. And, okay, here's the basic premise of the film. Adam Sandler is an ad executive. He makes advertisements for big companies like Dunkin' Donuts or Pepto-Bismol or Coca-Cola. The latest thing is that Dunkin' Donuts wants Al Pacino, the legendary Oscar winner Al Pacino, to be in a commercial because Al Pacino rhymes with cappuccino or frappuccino. I forget what it is. It really does. Am I really pulling a spoiler alert if I tell you if it's a frappuccino or a cappuccino? I don't think so. And at the same time, Jack's the character Adam Sandler plays, his sister Jill, played by Sandler as well, comes to visit. And comedy's supposed to happen, but for the last hour and a half I saw what was a torture film. It was like on the level of Saw or one of those movies, because there was racist joke after racist joke after pointless pop culture reference after lazy filmmaking and lazy cameos. Like, Johnny Depp's in the movie, and there's no reason why he should be in the movie except that he's Johnny Depp. That's like saying, oh, why don't we just throw in Lindsay Lohan in the Avengers because why not? And It's just oh my god, this movie hurt me physically. It was that bad. I never thought I would come across a movie like that. I never did. This movie hurt me. And I can't forgive it for that. So, you also have Katie Holmes in a role, and she's not the worst thing about the movie. She isn't. You know, she tries something, but it just doesn't work. I'm not saying that's a good thing about the movie, but it's better than nothing, which this movie is nothing. Like, okay, back to the racist stuff though. It was like a Mexican character who's like the groundskeeper for Adam Sandler and his, perfect family. And he's just like, I'm stereotypical Mexican and I got my family over the border. I'm kidding. Look, just because you say I'm kidding in a racist joke doesn't make it any less offensive. Okay? And I remember people thinking, oh, Django Unchained is the most offensive movie ever made. And I laughed. I kind of chuckled, especially after I watched Jack and Jill, because at least with Django, it makes sense narratively why the characters have such a profound use of the N-word. At least the film is rated R, so most people who are seeing Django Unchained should have the educational background to know what happened in the Civil War or in the antebellum South, per se. That is why I'm not as offended by Django as most people are. Okay? This movie is rated PG, which means I could take a young child to see this. Like PG. This movie has animal abuse. It has racist jokes. It has really disgusting body humor. Oh my god. There are scenes in movies that really don't bother me, like they bother a lot of people, but I get why they bother them. This movie was just gross for the sake of being gross. Oh my god. Jill is just a disgusting character. And then I'm trying to think, pop culture references. You know what? You had Al Pacino dress up as Don Quixote and sing The Impossible Dream. For those of you who don't know, Man of La Mancha is one of my all-time favorite musicals. One of my favorites. It's a soundtrack that I listen to on a consistent basis. One of my favorite songs of all time is The Impossible Dream. And this movie made me... I can't listen to Man of La Mancha anymore in the same way. Richard Kiley must be rolling in his grave right now. It's absolutely horrible. Oh, and Al Pacino's appearance is not a cameo. It's a major supporting character. He is the main basis of the plot. And it's just the only... I can think of one joke that I liked. But it was overused. And that was where he was playing Richard III or some Shakespearean character, I forget. It doesn't really matter, because I don't think Adam Sandler really cared when he was writing this movie. So why should I care? Where somebody calls on the phone and he's just like, he's talking to the audience and he's yelling at them for having their phone on, and then he gets on the phone, which I didn't laugh, but I'm like, at least there was an attempt at something, at some semblance of humor. And it's not funny. If you want to see other analyses on the film, watch Red Letter Media's review of Jack and Jill, the Half in the Bag episode. Highly recommended. It's one of their best episodes. And there are probably other reviews out there, like Mark Kermode, the British film critic, who I enjoy a lot of his reviews. The only pleasant thing he had about this film was that the people in the staff were very nice, and the seats were comfortable. That's it. It's not even it's a positive thing about the movie, but that was the only positive thing he could really think of about that movie, was a natural experience at the movies. You should get good service, you should have good seats, but because of how bad Jack and Jill is, it's like, oh, but that part was okay. Oh, dear mother of God. I can't believe that. So now, like, movie reviews have to say, well, my theater experience was quite charming. You know, yes, my seat was, quite comfortable and my soda drink was adequate. Well, the movie was quite terrible, but the soda and seats were adequate. And quite satisfactory. I can't believe that. That is what movie criticism is now is going to be. No, I'm kidding. It's not going to be that bad, but... You know, it's kind of sad when a movie reviewer, the only positive thing you can say is supposed to be part of a natural experience in a movie. That's how bad this movie is, guys. So, usually I wouldn't say this, but don't see Jack and Jill. Okay, you know what? See it, but don't sue me if you have injuries because of Jack and Jill. It's that bad. I'll see you guys later.